Scene script. Picture this. You're running in a race, eyes fixated on the finish line. But instead of focusing on your path, you're preoccupied with how your competitors are doing. Imagine being a runner. You're on the track, your heart pounding like a drum, adrenaline pumping through your veins. Your eyes, however, are not on the finish line, but darting sideways, watching every other runner in the race. You're not just running, you're comparing. And in this obsession with comparison, you trip over your own feet and tumble onto the track. This runner, let's call him Sam, is a lot like many of us. Sam is a metaphor for those of us who are so consumed with comparing our journey with others that we lose sight of our own path. His fall is the fall we experience when we let the progress of others dictate our own self-worth. Sam's race, like life, is not about outdoing the person in the next lane. It's about surpassing our own previous records, becoming better versions of ourselves. But our human instinct to compare often blinds us to this fact. We become so engrossed in other people's races that we forget to run our own. We stumble, we fall, and we lose the race that we were meant to run. It's a race against our past selves, not against others. It's about the unseen race within us, the one we run every day to better ourselves, to grow, to evolve. This unseen race is not about the destination, it's about the journey, about the progress we make, the milestones we achieve. Sam fell because he was running the wrong race. He was running a race of comparison, not of self-improvement. He was running to beat others, not to beat his own past performance. He was looking sideways, not forward. Had he focused on his own race, the outcome could have been different. This, dear viewers, is why 95% of people fail. Keep your eyes on your own lane, focus on your own path, and run your own race. Remember, the only person you should try to be better than is the person you were yesterday. Now, you might ask, why do we compare ourselves with others in the first place? Well, it's hardwired in our brains. Imagine our ancestors standing on the prehistoric savanna scanning their surroundings. They needed to know who was the fastest, who was the strongest, who could help them survive. That's right, comparison is a survival mechanism, etched deep into our DNA. Fast forward to today's world, where we're no longer evading saber-toothed tigers or wrestling mammoths. Our environment has changed drastically, but our brains, not so much. We're still comparing, but now, it's not about survival. It's about success, status, and satisfaction. Here's the twist. Instead of helping us, this comparison often leads to stress and dissatisfaction. And it's not just me saying this, research backs it up too. A study from the University of Toledo found that people who frequently compare themselves with others feel more envy, guilt, regret, and defensiveness. They're also more likely to lie, blame others, and have unmet cravings. Not exactly the recipe for success and happiness, right? And then there's social media, our modern savanna. It amplifies this comparison effect. A Stanford University study showed that passive use of social media, like scrolling through others' posts, can lead to feelings of inferiority and depressive symptoms. Now, I'm not saying we should abandon social media or stop comparing altogether. That's as impractical as asking a fish to climb a tree. What we need to understand is this. Comparison is a tool, a double-edged sword. It can motivate us, push us to strive for better, but overuse it and it becomes a weapon against our own peace of mind. So it's not about eradicating comparison from our lives, it's about using it wisely, recognizing its potential pitfalls and focusing more on our own growth and progress. Because at the end of the day, the only person you should try to be better than is the person you were yesterday. So it's clear, comparison, while natural, can be detrimental to our success and happiness. Scene script. Instead of looking sideways, what if we started looking within? What if we focused on ourselves? The power of self-focus is immense, and it's something we often overlook as we're caught up in the whirlwind of comparison. But what if we told you that the secret to your success, your happiness, your peace of mind is not in the lives of others, but in your own? By focusing on ourselves, we start to see the world through a different lens. It's like we're tuning into our own radio frequency instead of constantly switching channels to catch snippets of others' broadcasts. This self-focus brings about several benefits, and the first one is improved performance. When we stop comparing our chapter 2 to someone else's chapter 20, we can concentrate on our own progress. A study by the American Psychological Association found that individuals who focus on their own performance rather than comparing themselves to others, tend to perform better in their respective fields. Then, there's the increased self-awareness. By shifting the spotlight from others to ourselves, we become more attuned to our strengths, our weaknesses, our desires, and our dreams. We become the captains of our own ships, navigating through the waters of self-discovery. And let's not forget the significant impact on mental health. Comparison often breeds discontentment and dissatisfaction. But when we focus on ourselves, we're not just saying no to comparison, we're saying yes to self-love, self-acceptance, and self-improvement. A study published in the Journal of Positive Psychology found that individuals who focus on self-improvement rather than comparison tend to have better mental health. We're not advocating for a life of solitude or narcissism, but rather a life where you are in the driver's seat, where your growth and happiness are not contingent on others, but on you. It's about celebrating your journey, your progress, and your victories, no matter how small they might seem. By focusing on ourselves, we can unlock our true potential and achieve unparalleled success. Now, shifting your focus from others to yourself is easier said than done, but don't worry, we have some strategies to help you. Firstly, let's talk about setting personal goals. It's easy to get caught up in what everyone else is doing, but remember, you're not running their race, you're running yours. So, sit down and ask yourself, what is it that you want to achieve? What are your dreams, your aspirations? Write them down, make them tangible, and then work towards them. Every day, do something that brings you closer to your goals. They are your North Star guiding you through the journey of life. Next, practice mindfulness. This might sound like a buzzword, but it's a powerful tool. It's about being present, about being in the here and now. It's not about worrying about the past or fretting about the future. It's about being fully engaged in the current moment. You can practice mindfulness through meditation, yoga, or simply by taking a moment to just breathe and focus on your senses. It's a way to quiet the noise and tune into yourself. Thirdly, celebrate your achievements, no matter how small. In a world that's constantly moving, it's easy to overlook our victories, but every step forward is a step in the right direction. So give yourself a pat on the back, treat yourself, revel in your success. You've earned it. Finally, remember to be kind to yourself. We're often our own harshest critics, but guess what? You're human. You're allowed to make mistakes. You're allowed to have off days. So don't beat yourself up. Instead, use these moments as opportunities for growth and self-improvement. You see, focusing on yourself isn't about being selfish or self-centered. It's about recognizing your worth and working towards becoming the best version of yourself. It's about running your own race, at your own pace. Remember, the key to success lies in running your own race. As we wrap up, let's revisit our runner from the beginning. Picture our runner, breathless and determined, eyes set on the finish line. Each stride is a testament to their resilience, their willpower, their self-belief. They're not glancing sideways, they're not worried about the other runners. They're immersed in their own race, their own journey. And that, my friends, is the power of you. In the grand race of life, it's easy to get lost in the crowd, to compare our strides with others, to measure our progress by someone else's yardstick. But remember, comparison is the thief of joy. It's not about how fast you run or how long you've been running. It's about not stopping, about moving forward one step at a time. We've delved deep into the psychology behind comparison, understanding its roots and how it affects us. It's a natural human tendency to compare, but it's also in our power to rise above it, to focus on ourselves instead. We've also explored the power of self-focus, how it can transform our lives and lead us to our true potential. Focusing on ourselves doesn't mean being oblivious to the world around us. It means understanding our strengths, acknowledging our weaknesses, setting our own goals, and charting our own course. It's about celebrating our victories, no matter how small, and learning from our failures, no matter how big. And finally, we've looked at strategies to focus on ourselves. From mindfulness and self-reflection to setting personal goals and practicing self-love, these are tools we can all use to better navigate the race of life. The power of you is immense. It's transformative. It's about recognizing that you're your own unique self, not a replica of someone else. It's about embracing your individuality, your journey, your race. So, next time you find yourself looking sideways, remember, focus on your own race. After all, the only person you should try to be better than is the person you were yesterday.